is indeed a great opportunity to share ideas with the members of the Fourth Estate of the Realm, being one of the critical stakeholders in the electoral process, with a view to collectively exploring avenues of deepening the democratic culture in Nigeria, even as the 2023 general election beckons. The term fake means not true, not real, not genuine, counterfeit, or sham, according to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Suffice it to say that fake news is news that is not true, not real, not genuine, counterfeit, or sham. There is no gainsaying, therefore, the fact that fake news poses very potent and grave danger to election security, as well as the generality of the society all over the world. Simply put, fake news is a menace to security. But because securing the election is just an aspect of the electoral process, you will please permit me to quickly gloss over some other activities of INEC ahead of the 2023 general election before enunciating the implication of fake news on security, particularly the 2023 election. It will have been too bad for me to come here and see the members of the Fourth Estate not to talk of what we are doing as a commission. So I've just simply mentioned some of them before going to the real topic. Milestones to note as we move towards 2023 general election. The conduct of the presidential/national assembly election is exactly 43 days away from today, on 25th February 2023. The governorship and state house of assembly election is slated for 11th March 2023, while polling units will open at 8:30 a.m. for both elections and close by 2:30 p.m. Like we have always said, closing by 2:30 doesn't mean that is the end of the occasion. Or everybody that will be on the line at 2:30 will be allowed to cast their vote, but new people will not be allowed to come in. Campaign in public by political parties officially commenced on Wednesday, 28 September 2022. As we speak, the rate of political activities has increased as political parties, candidates and their supporters engage in serious campaigns, rallies, processions, and media advertisements to woo the voters. The Commission has, on our part, published the final list of 15,322 candidates for the general election contesting for 1,491 seats, 1 presidential, 28 governorship. Total number of polling units in Nigeria, 176,846. Extra data for Lagos State, since we are here in Lagos State and I'm representing Lagos State INEC. The extra constituencies are 1. Senate, 3. That is 3 contestants who come out of this election for the Senate in Lagos State. Federal House of Reps, 24. State House Assembly, 40. Local government areas in the state, 20. Education areas or wards in Lagos State, 245. Total number of polling units in the state, 13,325, which is the largest in the country. Election type, vacancy, and number of contestants. Governorship in the state, 1 vacancy, number of contestants, 16. Senate, 3, number of contestants, 28. House of Reps, 24, number of contestants, 162. State House of Assembly, vacancy, 40, number of contestants, 394. Activities undertaken by the Commission towards having a successful 2023 general election. The Commission has continued to work around the clock towards ensuring that no stone is left unturned for the creation of very conducive electoral environment for an all-inclusive participation of all stakeholders. It is worthy of note that out of 14 items on the timetable and schedule of activities of the Commission for this coming election, 10 activities have been carried out successfully by the Commission. The electionary campaign by political parties is still ongoing. Other outstanding activities include publication of notice of poll by the Commission, 30th January 2023, last day for presidential and national assembly campaigns by political parties, 23rd February 2023, while that for governorship and state house assembly is 9th March 2023. Date of election: presidential and national assembly, 25th February 2023, governorship and state house assembly, 11th March 2023. The ongoing collection of permanent voters' cards was devoted to registration areas on 6th to 15th January 2023. While on 16th January 2023, the collection of PVCs will revert back to LGA offices and collection of PVCs will end on 22nd January 2023. This will enable the Commission compute the polling unit by polling unit's records of PVCs collected to aid her in determining if the margin of lead in an election will be affected by the result from the polling unit. Section 47.3 of the Electoral Act 2022 says in case election could not hold in the PU due to a faulty BVAS, the number of PVCs collected at that PU compared with the margin of lead already established in the whole election will determine the election for that PU should be rescheduled, whether they should be rescheduled or not. Similarly, Section 51.2 of the Electoral Act 2022 says the result declared from any PU in an election must not be more than the number of accredited voters. Consequently, all those that are yet to collect their PVCs are to do so within the given period and avoid last-minute rush, as the Commission is not likely to extend the collection period. Remember, no PVC, no voting. Meanwhile, the Commission has opened the online accreditation portal for the media for the 2023 general election on 5th January 2023 to 5th February 2023. All interested media organizations who wish to deploy journalists to cover the election are to apply via www.imap.inecnigeria.org. You will see it in the paper given to you after. In the same vein, the Commission at the State Office has activated a help desk to directly receive complaints from all stakeholders and the general public through phone number 0814-541-9483. I repeat, 0814-541. Let me take it again. 0814-541-9483. Fake news and its implication on election security in 2023. Election is the bedrock of democratic system all over the world. And securing the conduct of election is very important for its consolidation and overall credibility. In Nigeria, the Independent National Electoral Commission is the body saddled with the conduct of general election as well as the area council election in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. When I say general election, I mean presidential election, National Assembly election, governorship election, and State House of Assembly election. It is important to stress that peace and security are very important ingredients for the socio-economic, educational, technological, cultural, and most importantly, the democratic growth of a nation. While the Commission is not empowered and does not have the capacity to create the necessary peaceful environment needed for the conduct of elections, the specific duties for the security agencies are to 1. Put forward set of guiding principles on constitutional peace agreement and legislative content which has the potential to reduce electoral conflicts. This should be drawn up in partnership with INEC. B. Identify areas of threats, flashpoints, and share same with INEC while providing adequate security in the said areas. C. Training of its personnel on the election manual, election process, human rights issues, etc., etc. D. Effective civic education and citizen engagement strategies and practice. E. Security of election personnel and materials on election day. F. Arrest of offenders, thorough investigation and collation of evidence for effective prosecution of election offenders. And G. Prompt transfer of electoral offences filed to the Commission, that is INEC, for prosecution and availability of the police for further investigation where necessary or as witnesses for prosecution. The Commission, in line with its powers under the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, and the Electoral Act 2022, has the powers to issue regulations and guidelines for the conduct of elections, wherein the role of security agents on election day is well spelled out. It provides at paragraphs 104 the regulations and guidelines for the conduct of elections 2022 that security agents on election day shall 1. Provide security at the polling units, so polling stations and collation centers, to ensure that the polling units, counting of ballots, collation and declaration of results are conducted without any disturbance. B. Take necessary measures to prevent violence or any activity that can threaten to disrupt the elections. 3. Comply with any lawful directives issued by or under the authority of INEC. 4. Ensure the safety and security of all election personnel and materials by escorting and guarding the materials at all levels of operation. 5. Arrest on the instruction of the presiding officer or other INEC officials and persons causing any disturbance or preventing the smooth conduct of proceedings at polling units, stations, and collation centers. 5. On the instruction of the presiding officer, stand at the end of the queue of voters at the polling unit at the official close of poll to prevent any person joining in. 6. Note 7. Escort the presiding officer and other election officials to deliver the election results, ballot boxes, and other election materials safely to the RA or Ward Collation Center. And 8. Escort collation officer to deliver election results to the returning officer and subsequently to the Resident Electoral Commissioner or electoral officer, as the case may be, for the submission of election materials and results. According to Section 27(3) of the Electoral Act 2022, notwithstanding the provisions of any other law, and for the purpose of securing the votes, the Commission shall be responsible for requesting for the deployment of relevant security personnel necessary for elections and registration of voters, and shall assign them in the manner determined by the Commission in consultation with the relevant security agencies, provided that the Commission shall only request for the deployment of the armed forces for the purpose of securing the distribution and delivery of election materials and protection of election officials. It's against this backdrop that the task of securing the electoral process rests squarely with security agencies, coupled with Section 27(3) of the Electoral Act 2022, that the Independent National Electoral Commission established the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security, ICES, Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security, with a view to bringing all the various security agencies together, each with its unique characteristics, under a common roof with INEC for the sole purpose of shaping suitable security strategies for the provision of watertight security for the conduct of elections in Nigeria, with the Resident Electoral Commissioner as the chairman of the committee in the state, and the Commissioner of Police as the co-chairman, being as the Nigerian Police is the security lead agency. Other members of ICES include Independent National Electoral Commission, Nigerian Army, Nigerian Air Force, Nigerian Navy, Department of State Services, Nigerian Immigration Service, Nigerian Customs Service, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Nigerian Correctional Service, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Federal Road Safety Corps, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, and National Youth Service Corps. Unfortunately, one of the big threats to securing the electoral process is fake news. In recent times, fake news has become the order of the day, especially with the advent of the internet and easy sharing of information among people on social media. Fake news, which simply means misinformation and disinformation, spreads like wildfire in every facet of the society, including the democratization process. The alarming rate of fake news in Nigeria today is a cause for concern, as it threatens national peace and security, and no doubt one of the dreaded challenges facing the country at the moment. According to the former Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, the NSAS protest that almost turned the country upside down was triggered by fake news, which emerged from Ughelli in Delta State. No doubt, fake news triggers religious crisis, genocide, communal crashes, jungle justice, electoral violence, etc. Ahead of the 2023 general election, purveyors of fake news are not relenting in their malicious efforts to put the Commission in bad light. In the light of this, the Center for Democracy and Development, CPD, recently raised concerns on the potentially disruptive influence of disinformation on elections. According to the Center, the common forms of fake news in elections include the dissemination of false information to discredit political opponents or to influence voters and the voting process. It added that the falsification and/or manipulation of contents, polling data, delegitimization of electoral institutions, including INEC, Nigerian Police, and other state agencies, are other handworks of fake news peddlers. The CDD averred that the spread of and impact of fake news is a concern all over the world, and that threatens the sustainability of democracy worldwide. In the current political system in Nigeria, characterized mostly by INEC preparations for the conduct of credible election and campaign by political parties to woo the electorate For example, the alleged scattering of voters' cards in Lagos and Abuja by one George National on Facebook in August 2022 was fake news targeted at diminishing the credibility of INEC. That particular George National was found to be a journalist based in Enugu. We sent reports to the police and to the DSS. The DSS sent that report to the counterpart in Enugu command, and within a week we were able to get a report back because the man was arrested at Enugu and brought to the Enugu State Command Office. And the journalist claimed that somebody sent it to him. He was asked, you are a journalist. Somebody sent something to you, you didn't consider whether it was true or not, you also sent it virally. The report was sent to our headquarters. Our headquarters was advised whether they want to go to court, but the journalist was released on administrative bail. Alleged cutting away of INEC voter registration machine from St. Bridget Catholic Church in Surulere, Lagos, which was reported by virtually all the mainstream media on 29 July 2022, was also fake news. Alleged relocation of polling units opposite a politician's house at Ikoyi, which went viral on social media in August last year, was also fake news. That polling station has been there before 1999, and it has also been there. At the time that before the politician even moved to that area, the polling station has been there. It's very, very far from the house, and nothing could be justified in putting that news on the media at that time. The viral message on social media in December last year asking people not to thumbprint the INEC PVC collection register is also fake news. When you go to collect your PVC, if you are not educated, you have to thumbprint. If you are educated, you sign. It is to enable us to be able to also prove, if you come tomorrow to say you have not collected, to say this is your signature or this is your thumbprint, and if it becomes a legal matter, it can be tendered in court to say, so that they can send it to the laboratory to check for the authenticity of the owner of that thumbprinting or that signature. So it is fake to say that people should not thumbprint. If you cannot sign, you have to thumbprint. Fake news is a negative trend that must be nipped in the bud because of its potential to mar the 2023 general election. Apart from poisoning the mind of the citizenry, thus leading to breakdown of law and order, fake news is also a huge distraction to the Commission and other critical election stakeholders like the security agencies. According to the Department of State Services, DSS, the spread of fake news and hate speeches on social media poses the biggest threat to the 2023 general elections. The agency stated that sharing of fake news along with incorrect and inflammatory commentary have led to violence in parts of the country. The spokesperson of the agency, Mr. Peter Afunaya, while answering questions from journalists in June last year, maintained that, I quote him, "We are into elections and political programs have started. What the media and every stakeholder must do is to ensure that the game is played according to rules. Nigerians must avoid any act that promotes hate and disintegration and say no to separatist movement, terrorism, fake news, hate speech, religious bigotry, and any act that tends to divide us as a nation." Social media and fake news are the biggest threat to human existence, not only to elections. Fake news is a major cause of violence in our society now. As journalists, you should always fact-check information before publishing. We must understand that Nigeria is the only country we have, and everyone must put hands on deck to ensure that there is peace. The media should be up and doing in ensuring that peace is restored in the country. Slanting news to achieve ulterior motives should be avoided. Now, I want to ensure that the DSS won't abdicate its responsibilities and will continue to do the right thing no matter whose source is God. End of quotation. Other challenges of INEC ahead of the 2023 general election. Apart from fake news, other current and anticipated challenges ahead of the 2023 general election include: 1. Insecurity in some parts of the country as a result of Boko Haram activities in the northeast, leading to the displacement of thousands of people who now take shelter in internally displaced people's camps. Separate agitation through unknown government in the southeast, which led to destruction of some INEC offices and other assets, as well as killing of 2 staff of the commission in the area. Banditry in the northwest and north central parts of the country, that have displaced many people and kidnapping in the southwest and southern part of the country.
Eagle Crime Awareness and Prevention Initiative President. Everybody know that good product is good product and bad product is bad product. We are talking about fake news. Anything fake is not original. Calling all the journalists to please to emulate good products and be proud of their professional. Thank you very much.